Hi guys, let's play a bit with our friend Batman Beyond. If you started watching just a few minutes ago, sorry about that. The recording crashed for some reason. Essentially, as soon as I took the cyborg mission, the recording crashed. So let's try and get this started again. So essentially, we're going to do the greed missions. So let's get out of here.
Will you aid the Corps? Sinestro's army of fear has slashed down an Alpha Lantern near LexCorp Tower. The green power...
And as you saw, there was some evil villain who was trying to attack us as we were trying to take the Green Lantern mission. Let's go and try the Ring War mission. I don't do it that often, but why not? So let's select the mission in our journal, even though I can see the LexCorp building right over there, but just so that everyone understand that where we're going and the limitation of the area we're gonna have to cover. Like essentially, when you see the LexCorp building right over there, the Ring War is right next to it. So in doubt, if for some reason the quest tracker doesn't work or anything, just go to the LexCorp building and you'll get there. So we can see that there's no lanterns yet, whether heroes or villains. So let's get started. This one is a bit easier than the Diamond Heist mission that you have in Gotham. The reason behind that is that you only have 10 lanterns as opposed to I think it's 24 bags of money that you have to get with and it's even not just that you have to get 24 bags of money, but also you have to shoot those trucks to give you the bags of money, which isn't that much, but it does add up a bit. So essentially, for every 3 bags of money, you have to attack the truck a couple of times. Although, sure, once your combat rating like 144, you attack the truck once and you pretty much obliterate it and get all the bags of money at once. But still, if you're a lower level character, it's going to take a few hits just to get a few bags of money. And in order to get all of them, it take a bit longer. Oh, and we have villains who decided to join the fun. And we got a turtle who you can see he's attacking, blocking, attacking, blocking. Not really as a strategy, but he's just spamming. As you see, like he's blocking when I'm not even attacking. There we go. Oh, and there's another guy. Ah, there's two of them. So I guess we're pretty much screwed in terms of trying to get the ring war between the two of them. While I fight one of them, the other one can carry the lanterns and vice versa. So unless they decide to give up, I'm pretty much not going to be able to get it. We'll see. Let's try it a bit. Of course, if our friend over there would help us out a bit, it would probably help. But now there's three of them, so. And there's a level 22, so that's going to be. I guess we're done for tonight. Oh well, we tried. Also, let's get back to doing our greed mission.
You will need all your courage for this fight. Cyborg and the other Titans have already faced Trigon once. Now Trigon's power rises with each citizen corrupted by his sin demons. We must save these people and weaken Trigon's power.
If you've noticed in the quest tracker, it says visit the Hedge Gardens. I think there was a quest, a side quest we could have done in the park. But I will probably do it at some other point. So let's go and grab our side mission over here. Essentially, I tweaked my loadout a bit since yesterday. I replaced, well, let's see. Essentially, I used a paralyzing dart instead of Gauss grenade. So that's pretty much the big change I made. I guess I could probably. Oh no, I have Gauss grenade here, so it's all good. So essentially, with your various loadouts, you can have different abilities set up. So between my damage loadout and my stealth loadout, I can have more than six abilities. The only thing is that for the abilities in my stealth loadout, I'm going to have to go into stealth mode in order to be able to use them, uh, which usually is not that big of a problem. Or if I'm in a situation where I know I won't be able to go stealth and use a power, I just then won't do it. But if I'm in a group and if the tank does a good job getting the aggro, I should be able to do it no problem. Holy crap, he went a long way away. That happens. That's probably the thing I like the least from the taser pull. That sometimes it really pulls your opponent. So let's show you the essentially the distract paralyzing dart combo. As you can see, does plenty of damage, especially at this level. And of course, the targeting system was trying to target the wrong target, which happens. A bit more often than it should, I suppose. But you sort of kind of get used to it, I guess. Could have sworn there was an enemy attacking me. And we saw an evil villain go by. We've been seeing a lot more players in the PvP open world for some time, which is not a bad thing, I guess. I'm not sure if it's the monthly format that brings them more often, or if there's some other reason. I guess it has some advantages and some drawback, I guess. Like the advantages, we have more people to fight in the open world if that's what we like. The drawback is that we have more people to fight in the open world. What I mean by that is that essentially for quite a while, yeah, like you could go about your way no problem and gather exhibits, gather collections, gather whatever you wanted, and no one would bother you because there was no one else. So now sometimes you have to fight a little bit more for certain exhibits or certain collections. So if you see a collection in the past, you could pretty much take your sweet time, pick it up, no problem. Nowadays, sometimes you'll have a player or two fighting you for collections, or even just as you gather exhibits, there'll be a few players fighting you over your exhibits, which is kind of fun in its own way. I remember at some point I had some friends who they didn't want to play PvP at all. So I was playing on the PvE side with them until they finally stopped playing. And when they stopped playing, the first thing I noticed is that as I was gathering exhibit, I remember the first time I had to fight someone over an exhibit, I had almost forgotten what was so fun about the PvP server is that just gathering exhibits became exciting. It was a bit of a challenge because you could run into a much higher level player than yourself, and even if you ran into a player about your level, there was no guarantee you would defeat him. If he was a good player, he probably would win. And also the objective was not necessarily fighting off the other player. It was more like you could lose the fight to the other player, but if somehow you managed to get the exhibit, well, technically you had won, or at least you won half the battle. So if you could manage to prevent the guy from picking up the exhibit and pick it up yourself, even if you weren't able to defeat him, it was a bit of a victory for you because you in the end you got the exhibit. So let's see. I need one more demon. I guess that's going to be it, or is it? Well, I still need a few greed demon. So, anyways, getting back on the PvP open world was a fun thing, and seeing lately seeing more players in the PvP open world, I would say that's a good thing. Oh, there's one. But if you're someone who had switched to the PvP open world because there was almost no one and you could gather exhibits smoothly with very little problem, and then I guess you're maybe you're not that happy that there's more people now, which is understandable. If you were here for the peace and quiet, and all of a sudden it's not quite as quiet, I can understand how you maybe don't like the fact that there's no people. But for my part, I didn't mind when it was quiet, and I don't mind when there's a bit more people. So It's a win-win for me. So I guess now we're really done. So let's complete this mission, and we got a new weapon, which might be good. Oh yeah, I did the vault before. Oh, some new gloves. That's nice. The steampunk. I'll keep that for some other character. And I got some gloves. Oh, let's get rid of that. There we go. So let's go do the other chain, the other link in the chain of the chain quest or the quest chain. I'm not sure what's the proper order. In case you didn't notice, English is not my first language, so sometimes the syntax or the phrase structure will be weird for me. But hopefully, I'm doing well enough that you understand what I'm saying. Also, even though Paralyzing Dart does most of its damage in combo with Distract, that still doesn't mean that you have to use Distract absolutely. Like if Paralyzing Dart also works fine as a crowd control, as you see it pretty much knocks down or puts asleep any given enemies. So it's a pretty, I'd say it's a pretty powerful crowd control as you can see. Even though it's a single player crowd control, I suppose, or single target crowd control. And let's tell that fella, get over here, like our friend Scorpion would. And let's get rid of the civilians and we'll do the demons after. So as you see, I'm almost done with the civilians, and then I can focus on those demon ones. And as you saw, Paralyzing Dart has a small area of effect around it. So if you have a bunch of enemies right next to each other, the Paralyzing Dart will actually affect most of them, if not all of them, depending on how many there are. So we need 4 more demons. There's a couple over here.
Scanning.
Oh, here's one more. Sometimes you'll notice that I'll activate the what's it called again? I guess I'm getting old.
Triangulated their source at Ellsworth Hospital.
The battle display. Sometimes I'm activating the battle display even though I don't have any intention of using the advanced mechanics. Sometimes it's just to get either the oh, let's get those shoulders, and it's good shoulders. So sometimes I'll use the battle display, but it won't really be for the advanced mechanic. It's only going to be to get like the 40% extra attack on the hit counter. Although the best for that is, I think the paralyzing dart is 50%, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's my 50%. So going for the dart, if I want the some extra attack, is probably the best option. But ultimately, even if I just use the 40% one, 10% is not that big of a deal, and especially at this level, the enemies aren't that difficult. And then if I feel that I really need that extra 10%, then I'll use the paralyzing dart just to get the 50%. But at some point, as soon as I manage to get the essentially the mod in the gloves, it gives you 60%. It won't matter which power I use by then. I knew I was hearing something.
Citizens of Metropolis, hear your goddess. The demon Trigon is rising to flood this dimension with unknown power. Do not resist. Give in. Only those part of Earth's transformation will survive.
So I guess now we're going to do the mission in front of the hospital. And there's a side mission right here.
Greetings. The Sentinels have
Usually it's one of
access
those
to the
missions where you have to be a bit extra careful because you're pretty much right next to the villain safe house right over there. So it's not rare that you'll see some evil villains trying to come here and farm player kills. Since they have very little effort to do. It's right next to where their location is, where their base is. So they don't have much far to go to try and find some praise, I suppose. And we're going to try to be a bit careful. You can see there's the avatar of sin right there. And trying to attack it at this point is pretty much suicide. We're really not a match for it. So as you saw, the paralyzing dart pretty much took care of all our three friends all at once. And as you can see, even without the distract combo, it's still powerful enough to pretty much one shot these guys. Oh, I couldn't click on him. I'm so sad. So let's get rid of those demons.
I showed up to help and these civilians just started attacking me. No hard feelings, right?
Unthinkable. I hate
And I hear others.
gathering the Sin Gems for preservation in itself.
Let's get a little friend here. Ideally, I should pretty much always use battle display first and then use a few powers. But once in a while, I'll use a power without bothering with the battle display, like in this case. By the time I'm done fighting this demon, I'll probably have gained back most of the powers I'll have used. So it's not really all that necessary. So I still need energy from three citizens. No, come over here, my friend.
demons are the warriors of Trigon's sinful crew. If we can calm the souls of their victims, we break one more source of Trigon's power.
As you saw, I'm not sure why sometimes as you fight, you start rising up in the air. Might have to do with maybe your camera is pointed towards the sky a bit or something. I'm not sure. But once in a while, you'll be fighting and fighting, and even if you're locking your target, when you're fighting with brawling, it does the same thing with brawling also. So when you're fighting, I guess hand to hand, like with martial arts or brawling, sometimes you'll fight and fight and fight, and as you're trying to hit your opponent, you keep on rising and rising and rising for reasons. So I'm not sure why, but it happens. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I guess brawling and or martial arts aren't really my favorite weapons. This should be our last one.
I'm calling in the Sentinels
Okay.
of Magic. Brother Blood is raising Trigon.
So I'm going to go do the Brother Blood mission now. One thing to know is that sometimes the mission glitches. Sometimes you reach the end of the mission and somehow the mission doesn't really want to end. Or even though you get the message to leave the hospital, by the time you reach your friend Cyborg, you cannot complete the mission for some reason because you cannot talk to him. Like the sometimes the marker or the trigger that allows you to then talk to Cyborg and complete the mission sometimes is missing or you skipped it somehow. So there's no miracle when that happens. You just wait for the mission to reset. You don't have to wait until the next day. Like if you wait, I don't know, half an hour, usually that should do the trick. And then you come back and you do the mission again. It didn't happen all that often. Like it happened uh, two, maybe three times, where by the end of the mission I could not complete the mission. I guess if I had missed the trigger or something. But the fix is pretty simple. I remember the first time I thought that maybe zoning in, like leaving the hospital and then coming back in, might fix it, and it didn't work. The best fix was just to wait for the mission to reset, or just you log in for a bit, you log back in, and then you do the mission, and you're fine. But essentially, the real fix is that you redo the mission again and hope you actually trigger the trigger at the end of it. It's not game breaking. It can be a bit annoying, but at least there's a way. It doesn't. Well, as I said, it's not game breaking. It doesn't stop you from being able to continue playing. Although it's a bit trickier now. Like previously, when I started playing, if you hit a bug or a glitch or something, you could easily just say, okay, yeah. To heck with that, I'll go do another mission and I'll come back some other time, or I just won't come back. I'll go do some other missions and I'll progress some other way. Uh, so unless it was a mission that was really vital to your quest progression, sometimes if you had problems with a mission or if a mission was bugging you for whatever reason, you could just decide to say, nah, I won't do it, and you would still have plenty of missions or plenty of experience points to be able to progress to level 30 and then progress later on in the game. But nowadays, the way they've changed that is that pretty much you pretty much have to do certain missions. Like you don't have as much. It's not as open ended as it used to be. In the past, you pretty much could skip a few missions, and also the order in which you would do the mission would vary depending on your preferences. Now you pretty much have a more, well, I guess a more linear progression than you had before, which makes it a bit trickier, I guess. If a mission isn't quite working properly, well, you're pretty much you have a little problem because you pretty much have to do that mission. and you pretty much have to do it at a certain point. Like by the time I reach this mission, this is pretty much the mission that I have to do. It's not like I have 3 dozen other missions I could do. Although, to be fair, I guess I could go and do the booster gold missions, or I could probably go do some PvP at some point. I'm not sure why I'm not there yet. I'm not sure why I wasn't doing much damage to that poor old demon. Probably was into I was attacking probably the background or something instead of attacking the NPC, which happens sometimes. As you can see, you can easily target. There's a lot of things you can target in this area, so it's very easy to end up targeting a non-character. Although, as you saw, the paralyzing dart did a good job in clearing out pretty much most of the enemies. And as you saw, I targeted the wrong thing. Let's try it. There we go. As you saw my other taser pool, I pretty much did the damage to the bench in front of the NPC. Although it's quite possible that maybe it did split the damage between the bench and the NPC, but the NPC did seem to get very, very little damage. So as you can see, Paralyzing Dart did a lot of damage to the embodiment of sin right over there, but also it did stun him for a few seconds. And for those few seconds, the demon was not attacking me. So not only is it a good offensive ability that does some damage, but it's also a good defensive one in the sense that the time that the demon is stunned, he just cannot attack you. So it's pretty much preserving your health while the guy just cannot attack you. Like it's as good as having improved defense when the guy just cannot attack you. And now we're going to fight with our friends Zatanna, Dr. Fate, and Raven. Well, let's get started with the big guns. There's that spinning attack at the end that I kind of like, which usually does damage all around me to a whole bunch of enemies. So that's also a nice area of effect attack. It's one of those attacks that I used to enjoy using in PvP when I first started playing Legends PvP. Essentially, I had purchased the future Batman because I hated using Robin, not because of the character itself. I just the way the character played, I really didn't like it. Also, I wasn't familiar with the bow staff, although not. I'm still not familiar with the bow staff, so. But somehow playing with Batman right off the bat was much easier and more pleasant than playing with Robin for me. So pretty quickly, there's a few abilities that I started using with Batman, like this one, that were really nice. But in PvP, often the way the fights sometimes are happening very fast, you sometimes don't have the time to do long combos. So the knee attack against certain enemies was the perfect attack because it's a really quick attack that you can't really do anything against unless you're spam blocking like some players do, which means blocking every 2 3 seconds without rhyme or reason and hope that your enemy will attack you while you're blocking. Like I remember there were players who were talking about anticipating your opponent and things like that concerning the blocks and the various counters until you at the end of the day until you realize that a lot of them were telling you horse manure. They were just attacking, blocking with no rhyme and reasons, and they didn't anticipate anything. They were just spam blocking essentially. But once you realize that, it made things a bit easier.
No matter how you fight, Raven, your fate is to be my bride and sit on the throne of blood.
I'll die before I become your wife, Blood.
That, my dear, can be arranged.
And somehow I wasn't targeting blood. It happens. Oh, let's summon our friend, the Tombot. I've been using the Tombot for the past day or two. I guess I'm trying to make up for all the time I've been using the Brainiac Servo. Oh yeah. So let's see if we can talk to Fate. Okay, so hopefully, let's hope the mission didn't glitch.
We have stopped him now, but be ready. Evil will invade this plane.
Trust me, I'm always ready.
So let's be careful, wait for all the dialogues to get completed. Wait for the movie.
Greed.
Skip the movie. And then let's take the investigation.
Once the gems are all in hand, it is difficult to resist the temptation to boast.
And let's go back to see our friend Cyborg.
You have triumphed. Trigon will not rise this day. Brother Blood must replenish his power
That's a nice
before his
neck
strength
piece.
fails.
A plan.
Return to Cyborg and
Oh,
tell
a
him
nice ring.
now we triumph.
Oh, either way. And a belt. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I just saw the building. After the holidays, I'll probably try to do a bit more PvP. Essentially, I did PvP with my Magneto until I was full vengeance, and then I didn't really do much PvP after that.
You put a serious dent in Brother Blood's plans. Consider yourself invited to kick
With
butt.
my Galactus, I think I have maybe one or two pieces of 99 gear, so I still have pretty much most of the 99 gear to get,
Poison Ivy's reported loose in Gotham. Check in with
and
Robin at the
I
East
have the
End
100
police
gear
station.
also to get.
He's got a plan to take her back to Arkham.
So let's see, did we get some pads? Oh yeah. So now we have to go to the East End. Oh, we're going to fight Poison Ivy. Oh, that's so sad. So since I'm going to have to switch anyway, let's go to my base. In case you never got the tour, let's imprint first. I'll give you a short tour of what it looks like right now with the nice Batmobile, the giant penny, some sort of door. Although I kind of wish we could put it elsewhere, but so let's sell and repair. Uh, Sometimes I'll keep certain weapons, thinking I'll give them to some other characters. I guess I won't bother today. Although I do have a piece of style that I should put in here. There it is. Okay, so let's go to the East End police station. And we should talk to Robin, if I remember correctly. And our quest tracker seems to agree with that.
Hey, Batman's analyzing the new Joker toxin, so it's up to you and me to take down Poison Ivy and her plants in Burnley. I'll tell you what, I'll even lend you my nose breather against her spores. I should be immune to Ivy by now.
First Scarecrow broke out of Arkham, and now Poison Ivy's on the loose. I don't like it. While Robin investigates, I'm
So
relying on
essentially, we're going to go into the area where I usually go to farm for exhibits. No poster here, so let's get going. Even though there's an evil villain right there. Let's go see if we can help our friends. I'm pretty sure I'm no match for. There he is. Or is he? Oh yeah, he's there. Uh, it's a high level player, farming low level low-level players. There's usually a sun mission over there. So let's take that first, so we can do it all together. Oh, there we go. And as you saw, you have to click on the wrapped civilians before they turn into plant people. And as you can see, the Mandrake is pretty tough, even with the distract paralyzing dart combo. He's still standing. It's not quite enough to one-shot him, which in itself should be telling that he's a little tough compared to your player character. I have time enough. Oh, I was lucky.
Scanning.
So let's try and free one more citizen. There we go. Although I still need, I think, to defeat a few pod people. Oh, let's just check to make sure.
Poison Ivy used to be a botanist before she went bonkers and decided to reclaim the world for the plants. If we don't get her back to Arkham,
Ivy's expanded on her usual menagerie. This time, she's created pheromone-blasting plants to lure in citizens, so her roaming Venus flytraps can devour them. Help as many people as you can.
I could have sworn I wasn't done yet, but I guess I am. So let's go to the next step. Oh, I heard something. Since I'm here, let's look for a few exhibits. Again, sadly, I spent way too much time gathering them exhibits that I pretty much know by heart where they all spawn in this area. Although once in a while I'll discover a new one that I wasn't aware of, but I pretty much know where most of them are. And I guess by the time you'll have gathered the 15,000 or 20,000 exhibits, you'll know where they are too. And I've been spending too much time farming for exhibits lately that there's no way I'm going to pass up some exhibits if there's some on my way. And there's usually a side quest. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Can you help me? I need silk spinners from those walking fly traps, but I can't get close enough. That material might be useful for the new armor weight technology.
Calculation completed.
That was a big waste, I guess.
But I gotta get out of here. I'm rolling out of here. Smell. I couldn't break away.
Calculation completed.
I need to go shower.
I need to get out of here.
I'm rolling out of here. Those snapping plants wanted to wrap me up for good. If this convert me into one of them.
Oh, we have a friend. And sadly, it's not really helpful because we want to click them fellas, and I think if we attack them, we destroy them or they turn into, I don't know.
Thanks.
Ooh, 100 breakout.
I think it wanted to transform me into
I
something.
guess that's going to be one less
I found the
skill point to purchase.
Thank goodness you showed up.
Scanning.
Oh wow. Thanks for snapping me out.
Somehow, there we go.
Bye.
Holy brain squash. That was crazy. I couldn't stop staring at that smell. Thanks.
So we only need a few cocoon spinners. But I guess we're still going to have to fight the mandrakes. Let's go grab that investigation. Oh, our friend was defeated.
Forensic toxicology report.
It happens. Well, let's give him a hand. It happens. Essentially, I don't know if you've noticed a few fights earlier, like a bunch of them spawned what seemed like out of nowhere. So it's pretty easy to get surprised because at some point, once you complete the quest and clicking on the wrapped civilians, then you don't see the timer anymore, and you don't know how long you have until they're going to get up. Although you can anticipate that they're going to get up soon, but you don't know. So while you fight anything else, at some point you see those. There you saw one pop right there. You see they're popping like popcorn, and you can easily get overwhelmed if too many of them pop at once. So I guess you have to. I was about to say you have to defeat your blood root, but very quickly. But even then, I guess I wasn't quick enough. Actually, I wasn't quick at all, but it didn't matter. They pretty much popped right away. So if you're not careful, it's very, very easy to get overwhelmed by too many NPCs here. But I think we're done. Let's keep on rising. We'll get out of range. There we go.
Poison Ivy's pheromones can make anyone fall in love with her. Usually it's only at close range. These distance attacks are something dangerously new.
Just as I thought. Not sure why sometimes the biotic armor research uh, doesn't seem to register. So often I'll go do some other missions and then I'll come back to try and finish this one. Not sure why I couldn't finish it earlier, but turns out I could not. There we go. So let's go fight some spore cannons now. And let's select the missions so that we can all follow what's going on. And we should have a side mission also waiting for us over there.
Find and destroy Ivy's spore cannons before that happens. Watch out for the pod people. They have an
So after the holiday, I'll probably try to do at least a bit more PvP missions. I'm not sure yet if uh, I'll probably try and complete my PvP gear for my Galactus and my Magneto, since these are pretty much my two main characters. But I'll probably also use one or two of my new characters that never did PvP to do PvP. I guess it's going to be a case by case basis. Like essentially on PC, I have this Daredevil character that I would like to do PvP with, and I did a bit of PvP with, because essentially at some point I would like to get uh, the Nightwing style, like the back style where you have the two stakes on your back. Even though you cannot, it's a Daredevil character essentially, and you cannot fake having the Billy Club to the side of Daredevil's belt. So I guess I would cheat a bit and I would have the Billy Clubs on his back, or the Eskrima stick as it's called, I think. So I guess there's a few characters that I would like to do PvP with in order to get them a specific piece of style. I guess we'll see how it goes. Like this big fella over here, not the Mandrake, but the big one that just fell. Essentially, that's what happens if you let two pod people merge together. It's going to give you a big green guy. So when you see them merge, if you want to prevent that, you have to kill the Thorn before they manage to merge. And in the good old days, when the Thorn would merge and create the big guy, the big guy was pretty tough. So you really didn't want them to merge. But I guess nowadays it's you still don't want them to merge, but it's not as big a deal as I remember. Like you can see them merge together. Well, let's observe that all together. Like you can see that's what they're doing. They're merging together right now. And now they merge, and you see the Gallo Oaks. Didn't realize that's what it was called. As you can see, it was a tougher minion, but it still wasn't too tough. But I seem to recall them being tougher than that. Although it could very well be that I was a new guy and maybe I wasn't geared enough or didn't know the powers enough. That's quite possible. So let's see. We have some more pods there, and I still need one seed. Oh, the seed turned into a plant. Again, as you can see, they're merging together, but it's pretty easy to stop them from doing that. And as soon as you kill one of them, obviously they won't be able to merge. And there we go. Let's look at our new pants. It's good for style for the shoulders. Similar belt. Similar pants. Oh well. So let's see. What else do we need? Oh, we're almost done. 5 cannons, 1 spore. I guess the mandrakes now are the tough one. It should still be down here somewhere. I don't know if you noticed there was this villain who tried to turn around and possibly get me from behind, but he then disappeared. Not sure if he just zoned out for whatever reason or if he went into stealth mode. Both would be possible, I guess. There he is. I just knew it. Let's keep going. He was almost done, though. Let's try him out. And somehow I can't target him. I should have gone when I had the chance. My bad. I was trying to summon one of our friends, the Tombat, and had to push the button like 5 times for the summon to appear, or at least I think it appeared. And sadly, I wasted way too much time. I should have just kept on attacking. It's okay. We'll know for next time. So as you saw, the guy tried to be again. He's trying to be sneaky, but once you know, you should be able to avoid him mostly. Luckily, when they're in stealth mode, they can't fly. So if you just stay in the air, so to speak, you should be fine. And there we go. I did not really want to click on the little fella, but too late. So I guess you could say that's the extra fun part of playing on the PvP open world is that once in a while you'll have a player that will add an extra element to the game.
Forensic toxicology report. This rose contains a powerful
Although
neurotoxin.
in theory, players should be that unpredictable element, like the, the 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 supposed advantage of PvP is that you're fighting player characters, which should be uh, unpredictable since they're people, so they should be able to do anything.
She's kept Robin and Harvey alive
But when after a while doing PvP, you pretty much discover that most players are pretty much are very predictable. So after a while in PvP, you pretty much can predict what players are going to do. The short version is that they're going to try to jump you while you're busy fighting other NPCs, either by, as our friend did just before, by turning stealth and by trying to surprise you. And in some cases, they won't even bother to turn into stealth. They'll jump you as quickly as they can while you're fighting while you're fighting NPCs. And failing that, they'll try to run away. So for I don't know 90% of the player base, at some point it was pretty obvious that they would a try to jump you, and b failing to do that, they would run away. Or the alternative to jumping you was ganking you, like there would be like six of them jumping you in case they thought that one wouldn't be enough for reasons. So jumping, ganking, running away was pretty much the what you could expect from 90% of the players, maybe even 95.
Those plants of hers, they're not human, if you know what I mean. I think I'm the only one who made it.
But it's still kind of fun in the sense that even though it's in the end it becomes pretty much as predictable as the NPCs. Heck, at some point I thought the NPCs were more unpredictable than the players. But even though it becomes pretty predictable, you pretty much see the same behavior being repeated by everyone. It still adds it adds an element of you where you have to be on your guard a lot more, where you quote unquote never really feel safe. Like in the PvE open world, at some point, in certain areas, in certain places, you pretty much feel safe. You know that unless you uh, attract the NPCs for whatever reason, no one's going to attack you if you just stay on a certain rooftop, or you can just fly around gathering exhibits, knowing that NPCs won't really attack you if you're careful. So the players add that extra element where even if you feel you're even if you think in situations where you could think you're safe, even if you're just going around gathering exhibits or collections, uh, players could jump you. So even doing something simple, you pretty much have to grow eyes in the back of your head and develop some sort of spider sense, for lack of a better word, which adds a bit of which adds a little extra to the game, which adds a little a little rush of adrenaline, I guess. And again, depending on if you like that or not, if you don't like that, then obviously you're going to stick to the PvE player versus environment side as opposed to the player versus player side. But we're seeing a bit more players than before on the PvP side, so that's nice and that's always appreciated. And like our little friend over here, Lockout, he was called, I think. He gave us some fun battle and some fun trying to avoid him being in stealth or trying to surprise him by going into stealth. That was a bit fun. We don't have the style for the belt, so let's collect the style. We have that's collection, new back piece, and even newer back piece. We'll just take the style of the belt. I guess I should try and get some trinket. It's a bit redundant to have both the Tombot and the Brainiac Servo.
Just saved the life of a GCPD officer.
There's usually... there he is. Not sure if I got all the cops. I think there is a feat if you get all the wrapped police officers. I guess I did get all of them. I could have sworn I'd forgotten. Ooh, and we got, I think that's true, we got a new PowerPoint. Now let's start with the skill points, that'll be easier. So essentially we have all the martial arts one. Let's go for the flight ones.
It's all blurry.
It's all what? Give me 1 second. What's blurry, the picture? I don't know, I'm watching it on YouTube right now and it looks fine. Could be the resolution. Maybe your resolution is set too low. I seem to be broadcasting in HD, and I think you can go up to 720p.
Never mind, it fixed itself.
Okay, no problem. Well, I appreciate you telling me anyways. Maybe it's quite possible that there could have been something wrong, and I just wouldn't know about it. So thanks for pointing it out. It's much appreciated. There we go. We got all the police officers.
Even a minute later,
So essentially, when you have the opportunity, there's no reason to hesitate and go back and grab a barrel. I don't mean if you have to go back like all the way to the start of the mission, then maybe you don't want to do it. If there's a barrel very close by, no reason not to go and pick it up. Let's try and pull our friend Robin. Doesn't seem to want to come here. That's okay. I wanted to break the barrel anyways. Essentially, if you've noticed, there's like two barrels. One or two? There's the other one. So there's
539 M watching it died from the PS4 system.
Oh yeah, you can watch from PS4 directly. It's true. I'm used to Since I'm broadcasting technically on YouTube, I kind of forget that it's also live on the PS4, I suppose. And let's summon our little friend, the Tombot. Oh, my barrel broke. I'm so sad. Almost there. Oh yeah. So as you saw, the combo uh, distract, paralyzing dart did a good job finishing off our friend. So let's start our friend Robin. And sadly, guys, that's going to be it for now. I guess I have to go. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.